everyone. Hope you have successfully completed week 1 activity plans and are progressing towards your goals. In this video, I'm going to give you activity plans for week 2. It will be a little bit different. We are going to blend in the activities together to make it a bit more fun and challenging. If you haven't watched my previous video where I gave you the week 1 activity plans, I'm going to link it over here so you can watch it. I'm Anita Shastri. I make educational videos, and if you are interested to watch my videos, please subscribe to my channel and also click on the notification bell so you get the notification when I'm going to upload my videos. Alright, let's start. On Monday, your child is going to make some breakfast for them. For example, if they are going to eat sandwich on that day, so you can ask them how many slices of bread do you want, and they can pick how many slices they want, and you give them some butter and some butter knife so they can spread the butter onto their slice of bread, and then they can also cut it into half. So here you're introducing them to fractions, and by spreading the butter onto the slice of bread, they are strengthening their muscles and also working on developing their fine motor skills. And if you have older children, they can also toast their bread if they like it, or if they don't, they can just have their sandwich however they want to. And after that, you always have to tell them or ask them to take their plates and put it in the sink. And if they are a bit older, they can also wash it. So this way, they are learning the skill of tidying up after they have eaten the breakfast. So this will be a very good activity for them to develop their fine motor skills and also strengthening their muscles and then learning the life skill. So next, we are going to, I have some notes here, so I'm going to refer to it. So next, you're going to give them some pillows and then ask them to count how many pillows they have and how many pillow covers they will need. So you can give them the pillows and then the pillow covers also, so they can start counting how many pillows and how many pillow covers they will need, and they can put the pillows into the pillow covers. And later they can stack the pillows on top of each other. This way you're going to introduce them to height, so they can count and you can say like it's so tall. And if you have, say for example, 5 pillows, so you can put 3 pillows on one pile and then the 2 pillows on the next one. You can say tall and short. So here you are introducing them to opposites as well the heights. And then you can stack the put the pillow next to each other, and then it will be long and short, so they can count. So they are learning opposites and counting skills and also about the heights. So this is, we are introducing them to new things. So later on, give them some break, let them play, and then you can put some music and dance. You know, head, shoulders, knees and toes are a good action songs for the children, or 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. If they are very young children, they enjoy these songs and they are also using their physical energy. So I know some of the activities will be repeating, but practice makes man perfect, isn't it? And for children especially, they need the reinforcement and repeating activities. This is very, very important for them. So this is how they learn. So, and then after all the exercises, maybe stretching exercises, yoga. So at the end, after they have finished dancing or exercising, then you can show them what happens to their body when they are very active. And then you can say like, look, your heart is beating very fast. And now you have to cool your body because they're sweating and then, you know, they're hot. So they have to cool their body now. So they have to sit down and do some breathing exercises. This is very helpful for them to understand when the body is very active, their heart starts beating very fast. And after the activeness, then they have to calm down as well, and then they cool down their body. And by breathing exercises, it helps them to focus, attention, and then concentrate, and then calm their mind. So this is a good way of teaching them for all these other skills as well. And today, on Monday, we are going to write the alphabet. Maybe if you want, you can use a book 2 lines or 4 lines, it doesn't matter, whichever you have, or plain sheets. Like in my class, I have got plain sheets, and some of the alphabets they have to trace over and then they have to copy underneath. I'm going to show you how I do it. It doesn't have to be the same way. You can do it whichever, or you can teach them whichever way is comfortable for you. But this is how I teach. I teach them phonetic sounds, and I start with the lowercase. And then you can start with the uppercase, whichever is easier for you, or capital letters or small letters. So I teach small letters or lowercase. So what I do is, I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate it a little bit. So what I do is, you put a dot here on the top, and then you can say to your child, you start from the top, go around, make a circle, come down on the straight, or come down on the same line and give a curve at the bottom. So this is easier for them. So they have to start from the top on the dot. So start from the top, go around, make a circle, come down on the same line and give a curve at the bottom. So this is very easy, and the children pick it up quite quickly. So, and then they will also repeat after you that they have to start from the top and go around, and then it's very nice activity. And then you can also help them to hold a pencil in tripod grip, like with 3 fingers. So this is, we call it as tripod grip. So at first it will be a bit harder for them, especially the younger ones. They're going to go for this, like holding it on the palm grip. But sooner or later, then, you know, by each day you practice a little bit more, and then they will finally come to holding the pencil in a tripod grip. So this is a good way of teaching them as well. So in the beginning, let them trace over it, like they can trace on the alphabet what they have written or what you have written to them, and they can trace over it. And for the older children, they can copy underneath, so they can see what it has been written and they can start copying it underneath there. So this way they are learning the alphabets. In my class, what I do is weekly once, say for example on Monday, if I'm going to introduce alphabet, and then on Tuesday I'm going to introduce them to numbers, and Wednesday it will be shapes, and Thursday it will be colors, and on Friday we are going to reinforce all these different activities which we have done, and then it will be a reinforcement. So this is really good way of teaching them slowly and progressing. Otherwise it will be too confusing for them if you do all the activities together. But if you are in a hurry and if you want them to learn quickly, you can always go ahead. It's not a problem at all. And then you're going to introduce them to number 1. So what I do normally in my class is, like I showed you before, so put a dot on the top. So you say, start from the top, go down straight and make a long line. So this is for number 1. It's very easy and the children like it. So they can start learning how to write alphabets and numbers on this day. And later on, let them practice for a little bit, copy it and trace it. In the younger children, let them trace over it first, and when they master it, then they can start copying it. Otherwise they get frustrated. And even if it is not perfect, let them try it. It doesn't matter. It will never be perfect for the first time when they are trying. So give them some time. So be patient with them. They are learning. It's the first time. And then for the older children, maybe they can start copying underneath what you have written. And also you can talk about, like, say for example, A for apple, and then they have to find a picture of apple, and then they have to cut it around and stick it. You can find it in any magazines if you have at home, or any newspapers. So they can stick it underneath and say like A for apple or ant, whatever pictures are available for them. So they can stick it, and then it will be a good activity for them. So on that day, you can also make another activity with the children. So if you have some tissue papers like this, any color will do, or any paper also will do. So you can ask the children to rip it and make little balls like this, and then draw some flower shape. Say for example, now I have drawn this, so you can use any paper or any card, and you can ask the children to make small balls out of the tissue paper or the crepe paper, what you have, and then they can stick it onto the shape. Any shape will do. So this is introducing them to flowers. So this is a very good way to introduce them to spring. Here in Norway, it's spring season now. So when we go outside for walks with the children, so we are looking at the flowers, at all the grass which is growing and the leaves which are sprouting up, and then bees and butterflies. So we are introducing them to nature, and children love them and they like to look at different color flowers. So this is a good way to introduce them to spring. So if you want to do that activity, you can, or if you want to do any other activities, you can always. So by ripping the paper, they are strengthening their muscle skills and fine motor skills with the balls what they are making. So this is very good way to strengthen their muscles. And at the end of the day, you can read a book for them, any book, and maybe try to find a book which has moral in it. So it's easier for the children to connect to the book very easily. It doesn't have to be a different book each day. You can repeat the book. It's up to you. But it's a good way to end the day for the children. On Tuesday, if their children are going to drink milk, and if you have some chocolate powder or Complan, Borvita, or whatever powder you use for the children to drink the milk, they can scoop the chocolate powder, say for example chocolate powder. So they can scoop the chocolate powder with a spoon, and then they can put it in the cup and then pour the milk in it and then stir it. So this way they are learning to use their muscles, and they are pouring it in and they are stirring it. So they're watching how the chocolate powder dissolves into the milk. So this way they are learning new skills of life, where they are going to stir and mix. Later on, it will be very useful for them. So this is a good way for learning how to scoop. And, even if it spills a little bit of milk, it doesn't matter. They are still learning. For the older ones, you can challenge a little bit more by asking them how many spoons or how many scoops they need to make the milk a bit tastier. So in any case. And then you can do some exercises with them. If you have access to go outside for a walk in a nature, please do. Otherwise, if you have some steps to climb, so you can climb the steps, or yoga, stretching, whatever exercises you want to do, or even just music as well, and dancing to the music. And always remember breathing exercises at the end for the children. So this way they are going to develop some concentration and skills for them to calm down their body after a vigorous exercise or action songs. And for lunch, you can also ask them to come and help you to cut the vegetables or peel the vegetables or wash the vegetables. So they can also come and help you with that. Especially for peeling, it's a very good exercise for the children. But always remember, when you are letting your child use the knife or peeler, anything sharp objects, please be with them, because safety is very important. What I do in my class is, like when it's peeling, so what I show them is like they have to keep the, say for example, this is a carrot and they have a peeler. So they have to keep it away from the body and they have to peel it downwards, because this is very important. When we normally adults peel, at least I do, so I peel it towards myself. So this is practice what I have done, but maybe it's different for you. But when we are teaching the children, it's very important for them to be very safe. So you can show them like away from their body, then maybe onto a plate or a cutting board, and then they have to peel it downwards. So away from the fingers, which is easier for them to learn. And once or twice, and then they perfect it. So my children are very good in understanding how safety is important and how they have to peel. So maybe you can try that. And then you can do some baking today if you are interested. And it will be a good exercise for the children to listen to the instructions, because you're going to instruct them following the recipe. So they have to listen. It's a good exercise for listening. And then measuring as well. So they have to measure how many flour, how many butter how much butter they need, how much flour they need, or baking powder and things like that. So you can bake anything you want to, as simple as you want. And then it's good exercise for the learning the measurements. And then please don't allow them to put it in the oven and take it from the oven. And then it's hot, so we need to be a bit careful about it. And then after that they can taste. So this is a good activity for tasting. So these are all the 5 senses are working here. So they are seeing, they are looking, and they are hearing, listening to the instructions what you are giving. And then they are also tasting, and they are also smelling. So, and they are also feeling how the flour is. So this, all the 5 senses are very active in just a simple activity like baking. And you can read a book today. So I have got a book here, and I didn't have any other children book. So I have got a book here. So before you're going to read a book for your child, maybe you can ask them to look at the picture over here, and then also show them who is the author. So always let them look at the picture and what pictures do they have, and then who is the author, who has written the book, and what's the name of the book. And this is my daughter's book which I have borrowed. It's a customized book, and if you haven't watched me reading this book, I'm going to link it over here, so you can always listen to the story what I have read. This is a very nice book. It's customized book for her, and if you are interested, I can put the link in the description below to order it. It's really very interesting book. So you can, this way the children will also be encouraged to look at the pictures and also the alphabets. They are also learning the alphabets and who has written the book. So this is a very good way to introduce the books to them, and this will be very interesting. And when you are reading as well, maybe they will interrupt you to look at the picture or to tell you something about the book, what they have observed it. So it's good. You can pause. It doesn't have to, there's no race here that you have to finish the book. It doesn't matter if you read 1 page or 2 page. And then it's good. The children are observing and they're asking you lots of questions. In my class, definitely the children love to ask so many questions, and we never get to complete the book at the end of the day, but it doesn't matter. We have read few, and then we have already looked at the pictures, and it's very interesting to see how good the children are, and so much enthusiasm is there and observation skills. So it's really, really interesting to learn new things from the children as well. They can make up the stories just by looking at the pictures. So even your children can do that. It's a good way to use their brains and to be more creative here. And then even in the book, when they are reading, you have already introduced them to A. So they have to find where's alphabet A in the book. So you're reinforcing the alphabet, what they have learned. And it's always very important to reinforce the activities, what the children have learned. This way, they will remember it and they will never forget it. And you can also do one more activity here if you are interested. So you can take any magazines which you have, and you can write their names with using felt pen, which I have here. And then the children can rip the papers from the newspaper, and then they can stick it onto, I have an example here, Anu, this is my nickname, so I've just used this. So I've just used the magazines. I have some magazines here at home, so I ripped the papers. So they can rip the papers and they can stick it onto the alphabets, what you have written for them. Or if they are older children, they can write their own name, and they can rip the paper and they can make an art here. So this is very good exercise for them to learn the alphabet as well and to write. So this way they are going to learn how to spell their name and how their name is written. So they can trace over it, and then they will start copying underneath. So it's very easy for them to learn. And when you are talking about the book, on this day, you can also show them how to express their emotions. So you can ask them, what did you think about the book? How did you like it? Was it happy book or a sad book? And you can ask them how their day was. Were they happy or sad? So this way they are learning to express their emotions. So you can say like they are happy and make a happy face, or sad and why they are sad. So this way you are teaching them to express their emotions, which is very, very important for the children to know that they can express whatever emotions they have according to the situation, according to whatever is happening in their life. On Wednesday, you're going to introduce them to hygiene. This is very important for the children to learn hygiene. So take shower every day, brush their teeth and brush their hair, wear washed clothes, like clean clothes, keep themselves clean. So we are going to introduce them to be clean and neat and tidy as well. So this is a good way to introduce them to hygiene, which will be very useful in the long run for them. So on Wednesday, they are going to tidy up the bookshelf. If they have lots of books, so on this day you can encourage them to place the books height wise. You know, start with the shorter one and then go on to the taller one. So this way you are going to introduce them to sizes and opposites. So here you can say like tall books goes at the end and then it goes shorter. So increasing and decreasing. They might not understand increasing and decreasing now, but they will soon. And then they know that, okay, this is a tall book, so it has to stay at the back, and then it's a bit shorter book, so this stays in there. So this is a good way to introduce them. And then opposites as well. If they have a thick book and a thin book, so you can say thick and thin. So you are introducing them to sizes and opposites. And this day when you are making lunch, so after you have made the lunch, you can say like, could you please come and help with laying the table? So they have to count how many people are there at home and how many plates and cutleries and how many cups they will need. So they have to count how many plates, and so they have to place it on the table and arrange it for lunch. And after lunch as well, you know, you have to start them teaching that they have to take their plates to the sink, and if they're a bit older, they can wash the plates as well. So a good way to learn the life skills and how to tidy up later on. And after that, you can clean the table first and then give them a damp cloth to clean it, to wipe the table later. So this way they will learn that they have to tidy up after they have eaten. So this is what I do in my class as well. So after lunchtime, I clean the table first, and then we have a lunch rota where the children take turns to clean the table. So they give them the damp cloth and they clean the table, and this is really good, and the children enjoy cleaning the table. And then, you know, they're always asking like, is it my lunch duty today to wipe the table? So this way you are teaching them life skills. So this is very important, you know, to keep the tables clean and the chairs clean, and even to pack their lunch bags. They learn very quickly. Even the 2-year-old children, they can pack their own lunch bags if you start teaching them. And they know where they have to put them in the bag. We have a trolley in our class. Then we say like, okay, can you take your bag to the trolley? And they do it. So it's really cute to see how the children are learning everyday skills, and which is very important for them in life. So on this day, you're going to reinforce the alphabets and the numbers, what they have learnt. And for the older children, you can challenge a little bit more by asking them to write the alphabet A or number 1 without seeing what they have written previously. So let's see if they are going to make it. And then on this day, you can also go outside for a walk in a nature, or if you want, you can do some exercises or play some music. So please repeat some of the activities just to reinforce all the activities which they have learnt throughout the week. And then in the next video, I am going to give you the plans for Thursday, Friday and Saturday. But there will be some activities which we'll have to repeat over and over again just to make them perfect. I hope you have enjoyed my video. I know it's a bit longer, but I can't help it. These are the activities which I will have to give you to prepare your child to start nursery or preschool, whatever is your case. Thank you so much for watching, and please share the videos with your friends and families so they can also benefit from it. Thank you so much.